I woke up that morning and I gave my two oldest children a bath, just like any other time. I wasn't expecting that. I gave my two oldest children a bath and they played. I washed them up. I got them out, got them dressed. My brother told me that the baby had pooped. She was in the room crying on the bed. I took her from the bed and I took her to the bathroom and laid her on the bath rug and cleaned her up. I put her in a tub and her cry was it's a piercing scream. So I took her out and I put her on the bed and I was trying to dry her off and she was still screaming. And I looked down, my brother's like, what's going on with her skin? Her skin was peeling off, like coming off of her stomach. And he asked me like, what happened? And I told him, I don't know. Can you take me to the hospital? This is not something that I was expecting to happen. I was just trying to give her a bath. I don't know what happened.
You have no idea how your daughter got severely burned?
No, I do not.
What did the doctor say about the burns?
The doctors said that she had second and third degree burns over 13% of her body. They stated that it was from scalding hot water. And they said that they needed to contact CPS and detectives. And they came up to the hospital. They questioned me, and they questioned me over and over and over again. And I'm telling everyone, I don't know what happened because I don't.
Did they arrest her?
Yes.
So
the detective issued a warrant for my arrest. He said, based off the statements that I gave him, something wasn't adding up. There's no way that just happens. That's not possible. So they issued a warrant for my arrest, and I did turn myself in.
Did you give a detective a reason why you thought this happened? Did you try to explain how it happened to him?
I asked the hospital to test her skin to see if maybe it was a chemical burn. I don't know how it happened, but I know for a fact it was not for me putting her in that tub. And I tried to explain that to them. And
well, not especially if you gave your children a bath in the same tub before,
she
right?
was sitting in that bathtub, and she went feet first, sitting up in that tub.
And before you put her in, you didn't notice any kind of burn?
I didn't notice anything.
I mean, that's pretty unusual, wouldn't you say?
There was nothing.
So 3 children, 4, 2, and 11 months. The 4-year-old and 2-year-old, you give a bath, and then you put your baby in 2 months in the same water that the older children were in. So it's not the bath water.
It's not the bath water.
And
there's no
the severe burns, right? Severe. You didn't notice.
She seemed fine.
You believe she was burned before she even got into the water.
That's not what I said, Steve.
Well, it has to be one or the other.
Happened. I'm not sure what happened. That's why
listen. Logic tells you the water didn't burn her, right? Because your 2 other children were in there. They're fine.
And my hands hit that water too, Steve.
Okay, so you didn't get burned?
I did not.
So that water didn't burn your baby. Is the child always in your care?
Yes, yes.
So nobody else could have done this?
Me and her dad, we are her caregivers, but Dad was at work, and she was being watched by my brother and his... I gave the 2 oldest kids
And you have no idea how this could have happened?
I do not.
And here's the other thing. The baby's burned on the front side.
She is.
Okay. So, you know, I remember when I'd give my kids baths when they were little babies, I would sit them in butt first. I didn't take them like Mission Impossible style and put them in the water.
No. Of course not.
You know what I mean? Like, that didn't happen because people don't take their babies and lay them face down in the water.
No, she was 6 months at the time. I put her in the tub. I picked her up like this and put her in the tub. She was able to sit up at the time.
Everybody does.
Sitting up in the regular tub, not a baby tub or anything. I honestly, I don't know.
You were living with your brother?
Yes.
And he kicked you out?
Yes, he did.
Why did he kick you out?
We were given a time frame to stay with him. He allowed us to move in with him because we were homeless, sleeping in a car. And then he just was tired of us staying there, I guess. He just said that we couldn't stay there no more and we had to go.
After this burn?
Yes.
What's the relationship like with your brother?
Her family is kind of dysfunctional, so I mean, we talk,
Your
and
brother.
I mean, I go over to his house every now and again. You know, I'm older now, so it's not like
Did it
we're not as
surprise you
close.
that after your daughter suffers severe injuries, and you say you're struggling with homelessness, that he'd say, "Get out"?
I think that he's
Did you ever directly, point blank, ask your brother, "Did you burn my baby"?
no.
Why not?
It was never a thought.
Okay, see, here's where I'm having problems. Okay,
He was never questioned for that.
but you are the mother.
And I
He had your baby before you. Okay, me just as a dad, and my
I
wife's
get
standing
that,
over there.
but what I'm saying to you is
Another's natural reaction would be like, "Hey, did you burn my baby?"
why would I ask something like that?
Because your baby is burned.
But if you that's like, okay, you get your child from someone and you getting them undressed and you see nothing wrong, nothing to cause an alarm as a parent. You can't just make an accusation like that.
Are you kidding me?
If I'm telling you,
I'm gonna point the finger at everybody if something happened to my kid.
My baby girl was hurt so bad, it makes me feel like torn up on the inside, because like she's just an innocent little baby. Like you could just tell that she was really suffering. You know, when I walked in there, I saw like these big blisters, like the size of grapes. They was all over her stomach, her abdomen, and her legs. And her skin was bright red, raw, and it was peeling back. It was crazy. And it was just too much for me to take in, so I had to walk out. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could take her pain away. I wish it was me, not her suffering like this. At the hospital, the detectives came and they said it was thermal burns. The police came and they just assumed that she hurt our daughters on purpose. I've been with Takia for 5 years. This is my high school sweetheart. She's a loving person. She's just a giving person. She's a loving, overprotective mom, so I know she will never do anything to harm her babies. The story Takia told me is she put her daughter in the bathroom while it was not hot. I believe her because I know deep down in my heart she would never do something like that. Yeah, Takia, she went to jail because of the investigation. I bailed her out. So I know in my heart that she ain't do it. She ain't hurt the babies on purpose. I don't know what happened, so I just want the truth today.
Dre, when you saw these blisters, these burns on her, what was your reaction?
It just brought pain in my heart. It's just looking at her so young, the blisters all over her body, on her stomach and legs. It was just crazy to me, you know.
This didn't just occur, right? Somebody, whether accidentally or intentionally, burned your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any idea in your mind how this happened or who did it? None.
No.
Do you have contact with her brother, Takia's brother?
Yeah, sometimes.
Did you ever ask him, "Hey, did you burn my baby"? No. So, okay. So on the one hand, as fathers, I'm connected to you when you say, "God, when I looked at my daughter with those injuries, all I could think of was, boy, I wish I could take that pain." But then I have disconnect with you because you're not questioning the brother, like, "What'd you do to my baby?" Okay, Takia, you came here and we broke your test into 2 parts. The first part, we asked you, did you intentionally burn your infant daughter in a bathtub? You answered no. Did you intentionally place your infant daughter in scalding hot water? You answered no. Was your infant daughter placed in the same bath water minutes later as her sisters were in? You answered yes. The results for those 3 questions came back all the same, and they came back that Takia told the truth. Then we go on to ask you, are you now withholding information that you have about who actually caused injury to your infant daughter? You answered no. Do you have personal knowledge that your daughter was burned prior to you placing her in the bathtub? You answered no. When you placed your daughter in the bathtub, were you aware that your daughter was already burned on her body? You answered no. Do you know for sure who really caused the burn injury to your daughter? You answered no. The results came back all the same to those 4 questions, and it came back that Takia did not tell the truth.
How would that be?
Means you did not tell the truth. Did you do it? No,
No,
you didn't.
I did not.
Well, you passed that. You were very happy with those results. You were very happy with those results.
I don't know.
Now
who
the
did
next
it.
part, do you know if somebody else burns your daughter
don't know.
and you don't pass it and you fail? And to me, is it a big leap of faith to think that you lied on this? No, because I ask you a simple thing that I think 99.9% of mothers will go to the 2 people that had my daughter previously to me discovering that she was severely burned, and the very least I would do is say, did you burn my daughter? I think almost every parent that's not on drugs would ask that question.
I'm
Okay?
not on drugs.
You didn't do that. I gotta imagine when she gets back, you guys have a long conversation ahead of you, and all I gotta say is, when you get back, I hope you make good decisions about what you're going to do to get justice for your daughter, and so you make decisions that you stay in their lives.
I'm gonna have them put that on them and question them if they never did that.
You know what? If you want to bring them, we'd love to have them come here and take the test.
Let's do it.
We would love that.
Let's do it.
And,
Let's do it, Steve. Seriously, because I'm telling you, I don't know.
and since you're
Let's
facing,
do it.
and since you're facing court date real soon, I suggest you do that
Let's
sooner
do
than
it.
later. Goodbye.
I called you, Steve, for help because I watch your show all the time.
Somebody's going to watch this and say, you know what? She was brave enough to do that. I can do that too. Can you relate to this story? Go to www.stevewilkos.com to get my help.